Hello viewers, I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal, stand before you with a topic Judicial Activism, its meaning, necessity and significance. This judicial activism, its meaning, necessity and significance is found in +3 second semester core paper number 4, which is on the basis of National Education Policy 2020. But before I discuss judicial activism, its meaning, necessity and significance, I want to inform my viewers that my channel name is @Dilip Kumar Pal 9375. In this channel, political science videos of +2 first year and +2 second year are found both in English and Odia. And so far as +3 section is concerned, political science honors videos of +3 second semester core paper note 3 and 4 are found, which are on the basis of National Education Policy 2020, and environmental studies videos of +3 first semester is found, and political science honors videos and ethics and values videos are found from +3 third semester to 6th semester. I want to suggest my viewers that any video you want, just write my name Dilip Kumar Pal and the name of the topic in Google or YouTube. You will get videos in English and Odia. Let us start. Judicial activism. First we will take up its meaning, then necessity, then significance. Let us start. What is judicial activism? Judicial activism was first originated and developed in USA. It was coined for the first time by Arthur Schlesinger Jr. in 1947. Judicial activism has been originated and developed from USA, and Arthur Schlesinger Jr. was the first man who used this word in 1947. So what is judicial activism? Meaning of judicial activism. Judicial activism means judiciary not only perform its traditional functions of interpreting laws of the country, but it must go beyond it and play an active role in solving social problems and social injustices, shape public policy for social welfare, direct government to act on issues like drought relief, setting up committee on specific problems, reforming private bodies like Board of Control of Cricket. So what is judicial activism? Judicial activism means the judiciary will not only confine with its traditional functions of interpreting the constitution, but it should go beyond that in solving social problems, social injustices, shape public policy for social welfare, direct government to act on issues like drought relief, setting up committee on specific problems, reforming private bodies like Board of Control of Cricket. So judicial activism means judiciary should not only confine with its traditional function of interpreting the law, but it should go beyond that, and it should perform functions like solving social problems, social injustices, shape public policy for social welfare, direct government to act on issues like drought relief, setting up committee on specific problems, reforming private bodies like Board of Control of Cricket, etc. So judicial activism means judiciary should not be confined with its traditional function of interpreting the constitution. Rather, it should go beyond that. It should go beyond that, and it should solve various social problems. It should patch up social injustices. It should direct the government to perform functions relating to social welfare. It should direct the government to form specific committee on specific problems. So it is judicial activism. So you are clear about the meaning of judicial activism. Now discuss necessity of judicial activism. What is the need of judicial activism? Why the judiciary will have to go beyond its traditional functions of interpreting the constitution. There are various reasons. To understand the increased role of judiciary, it is important to know the causes that lead to the judiciary. If to understand the increased role of judiciary, it is important to know the causes that led to the judiciary playing an active role. There are various reasons for which judiciary will have to perform some more functions than its traditional functions of interpreting the constitution. So what are the reasons for which judiciary will have to play an active role? Number one, there was rampant corruption in other organs of government. There are rampant corruptions in other organs of government like legislature and executive. So judiciary is bound to take an active role. Number two, the executive became callous in its work and failed to deliver required results. Another important reason for which judiciary is bound to play an active role is that the executive is not fulfilling the desired results and the executive is neglecting its duty. So judiciary is bound to play an active role. Number three, parliament became ignorant of its legislative duty. Another reason for which judiciary will have to play an active role is that legislature is ignorant about its legislative duties. Legislature is not performing its legislative duties, for which judiciary is bound to play an active role. Fourth, the principle of democracy is continuously degrading. The principle of democracy is continuously degrading. So judiciary is bound to play an active role. Then fifth, public interest litigations brought forward the urgency of public issues. Public interest litigation brought forward the urgency of public issues. PIL, public interest litigation means remedies to be taken by the court to solve problem relating to people. There are various judiciary is bound to play an active role because public interests, public welfares are not carried on. So, as public welfare, public interests are not carried out, so court is required to take an active role. So, PIL, public interest litigations brought forward the urgency of public issues. PIL, public interest litigation, means remedies to be taken by the court to solve problems relating to people. So another reason for which court is bound to play an active role is that public issues, public problems are not solved. So courts are requested to take measures to solve public issues. So we are clear about the meaning of judicial activism. We are clear about the necessity of judicial. First of all, we are clear about judicial activism. Then we will clear necessity of judicial activism. Now we'll discuss significance of judicial activism. What are the significance of judicial activism? Number one, protecting individual interest. The first significance of judicial activism is to protect individual rights. Judicial activism can help to protect rights of individuals and minority groups by challenging laws and actions that discriminate against or oppress these groups. The Supreme Court ruling in Visaga case 1997 led to the enactment of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013. The first significance of judicial activism is that to protect individual rights and to protect rights of minority against the discriminatory laws, judiciary is requested to play an active role in order to protect individual rights, rights of minorities from the discriminatory laws of the legislature. Judiciary is needed to play an active role. So, Supreme Court ruling in Visaga case 1997 led to the enactment of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013. Due to the ruling of Supreme Court in Visakhapatnam case, the government enacted Act in 2013 for the to take step for the sexual harassment of women at workplace. Due to the ruling of Supreme Court in Visakhapatnam case in 1997, the government enacted a law against the harassment of women at workplace Act 2013. So the significance of judicial activism. So the significance of judicial activism is for the protection of individual rights and the protection of the rights of minority. Number two, the second significance of judicial activism is promoting rule of law. Judicial activism helps to ensure that government operates within the boundary of law. Another significance of judicial activism is promoting rule of law. The judicial's important role is necessary to bound the government to function within the boundary of law. Number three, strengthening democracy. Judicial activism is needed to strengthen democracy. How? Judicial activism can help to prevent abuse of power by the government and promote accountability and transparency in decision-making process. Another significance of judicial activism is strengthening democracy. In order to strengthen democracy, in order to restrict legislature and executive as well as government to abuse power, judiciary activism is necessary. So judiciary activism is necessary, or active role of judiciary is necessary in order to prevent the legislature and executive to misuse the power or to prevent government to misutilize the power. So judicial activism can strengthen democracy. Fourth, promoting social change. Another significance of judicial activism is promoting social change. Judicial activism can help to bring about social change by ruling on cases that address important social issues and by setting legal precedents that shape the direction of future law and policies. The Supreme Court recognized the right to self-identity one's own gender. It led to the enacting of Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019. Another significance of judicial review is promoting social change. The decision of judiciary is the decision of the judiciary force the government to change its law in different way. So the decision of the judiciary force the government to change its law. It brings about social change. Judicial activism can help to bring about social change by ruling on cases that address important social issues, by setting legal precedents that shape the direction of future law. The decision of judiciary forces the government to change its law. It brings about social change. The Supreme Court recognized right to self-identity. The Supreme Court recognized right to self-identity means every person can declare his identity. When Supreme Court recognized the right to self-identity, at that time government passed a law on the basis of that Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019. Then another significance of judicial activism is interpreting the constitution. Judicial activism can also involve judges interpreting the constitution, apply it to new situations and issues that were not addressed when it was written. Another significance of judicial activism is interpreting the constitution. Judiciary interprets the constitution to new situations. So another significance of judicial activism is that judiciary interprets the constitution to face the new situations. So it brings about social change. So another significance of judicial activism is that another significance of judicial activism is that it is the duty of judiciary to interpret the constitution. It says what the constitution says to a new situation. On the basis of it, decisions are taken. Judicial activism can also involve judges interpreting the situation and apply it to new situations and issues that were not addressed when it was written. Another significance of judicial activism is that judiciary interprets the constitution to new situations. Judiciary interprets the constitution to face a new situation, and to face that new situation, it was not mentioned in the constitution when it was written. So another significance of judicial activism is that judiciary interprets the constitution to new situation so that the constitution will work. Then 6. Providing a check on other branches of government. Judicial activism can serve as a check on power of legislature and executive not to exceed constitutional authority and rights of citizens. Another significance of judicial activism is that judiciary will check other organs of government like legislature and executive to remain within the limits of the constitution. So, in Kesavananda case, it was held by a Supreme Court that Parliament cannot change basic structure of the constitution. So, another significance of judicial activism is that it checks other branches of government. It checks legislature and executive to remain within the limits of the constitution. So, in Kesavananda case, Supreme Court ruled that the government, the Parliament, cannot change the basic structure of the constitution. So, judicial activism means judiciary will not limit itself only with the interpretation of the constitution. Rather, it should go beyond that. It should go beyond in solving social problems, in solving social issues, to change public policy, to protect citizens' rights. So, in this video, we have discussed meaning, necessity, and significance of judicial activism. So, I request my viewers to subscribe the channel so new videos will come to you, and aware of your friends, those are in +2 and +3 about this channel, so some students will be benefited. By giving help to anybody, will not have any loss. It is a social service. Thank you. Have a good day.